Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Web School of Marketing. How to create effective and relevant content online. Making it big online. The person who make it big online, our web developer of eSite Creation, CEO, Nico. Hi, Nico. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. So we're just gonna be exploring, different things about web development and how you start and all that. So making it big online. So this is more of how did you start your business at eSite Creations?
Okay, so I had clients since 98 or so on the side. And then in 2013 or so, that's when it all changed. And a new friend of mine had web clients and said, would you like them? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I took them, added them to my clients, and then I had enough to like start at my own place, like my own business. And that's how it started, I guess.
So you were able to acquire the business that is existing?
Yes. It was mostly clients. And there was nothing else except, I guess, a logo and a website from the business.
So this is when you moved from Quebec to Hanover, Ontario?
Oh, no.
No?
That was way after that.
After that, yeah.
I moved here in 99.
99.
Or 2000, sorry. In 2000, I moved in Hanover.
And then 2013, is that the one when you acquired?
Yes.
The site? Okay. So how many years running right now?
I repeat that, sorry.
How many years is it?
Oh, it's my 9th years, I guess.
9th year.
Okay. 8 years. Each. 7, 8. Yeah, 8 years.
8 years. Okay. So is this what you imagined to work before when you take, so you take your course coding, right? What is that exactly?
Yeah. I did programming in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 3 years of college, and we only had a week of class on websites, and we had to build like a cheap small website, and I loved that, and I thought, oh, that's great. But we also had database classes, and I hated that class. I'm like, I will never do that. It's so boring. But then later on, I realized I could attach a database to a website. And then all those ideas came to me. I'm like, oh, I can do so many things with that. So I dug up my old database notes, and then I went through them, and I loved it.
Okay. So you started not liking the database.
Yeah, because I think in class there's no goals to it really. Like it's just for class, and it's just like, oh man, it was just like add the client, search this, delete it, and it was like, oh, it's boring. But now it's like, it's so much fun. I can do so much.
Because you see the importance of it, that because you love the web design.
Yeah.
Then you need the functionality of the database. Eventually that would. So then when you know the importance of database because you love the web design, so in further going towards web development, then you it's more of like a shift of mindset on database. Someone that you in person to sometimes that you don't think you like, you don't have a first good impression with database first, and then eventually realize, oh, he isn't that bad. So You end up liking the database, and now you're doing it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a great story. So, you know, like when they're trying to start, I guess you create your profile, right? Is that when you create your profile before or after school, and then you also present your product and services, and then you seek your target audience. Is this the way you approach your customers? And well, this is just what I assume, that you're a shy person, but I'm not. I'm sure you're not.
I mean, I was shy all my life until I guess around the time I started my own business, where I had to like step up and start opening. So now I don't think I'm an extrovert person, but I'm way more open than I used to be, for sure. Yeah.
So you said you've been a shy all your life, and then you just have to step up because now that you have your own business, right? It's different from employment that you just have to work on your desk. You don't have to deal with other people except probably your boss or colleagues, right? So this is a different employment versus business is different. And then plus you're a shy person. So how did you overcome that? You know, like, okay, I have to, it's more of a shift of things. So how were you able to approach your prospect customers, even though you're not, as you know, the typical sales person who's very extrovert?
Like to tell you the truth, I didn't do a lot of reaching to people. And mostly all outreach to me. So I don't do like cold calls too much.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
People will come in or call me. So they already have some interest into it. So it kind of opens things up too.
So it all started because you have your well, we'll get to that, your space, right?
Yes.
So how would people know you, that your business exists? You have an office space that is visible to people. You don't have to do the extended marketing, cold calling, you know, the typical way, because you have an existing business that people could see.
Yeah, but there's a lot of word of mouth and people I know and online presence too, and search engines. So it's not just my front store, it's like everything combined.
So the way you're able to be known by other people is not, you're not as aggressive marketer person, but
No,
you have an office space, right? And then you've mentioned about having presence online. Is that the search engine optimization, SEO, or?
It would be that and advertising and all that stuff, yes.
So you do some advertising too through different channels, like?
Yeah, and then through like in town events and stuff like that too.
So you were connected to the Chamber of Commerce too?
Yeah.
Is that helpful enough for you to be at the community event?
I mean, it's good, yeah. And there was another place to like where I have to like open up more to people.
So it's good to know for people who would love to create their own business. It doesn't have to be a salesperson who really talks a lot to other people, who are not shy, who is more extrovert. So there are, you know, if they're still thinking to start their own business, it doesn't have to be that personality of what we assume of a good salesperson is, right?
True. Yeah.
Okay. So on your own experience, that's what we're.
But I'm sure it helps if you can be more like aggressive for sales.
Well, I think, but just because that's not your personality,
No.
but that's just how things work for you, and it still works. You still have your business running for almost 9 years, 10 years right now.
Yeah.
So so your website and content marketing are the success of your business today. So this is your message to your client, period. So eSite knows how to fulfill your digital needs for your business. So our technological expertise in web development, branding, graphic design, multimedia, hosting, SEO, SMM, and customer service will result in nothing less than a website reflecting your true professionalism. Branding, content marketing, and concise SEO, SMM is what puts your business on the first page of Google, Bing, and Yahoo on a consistent basis. So that's what keeps us both in business, a win-win relationship. So this is from about eSite on eSite creation page. So is this something that is still existing? Is this like the core of why you have this business?
Yeah, like I like to help people, and now I will do my best to try to help everyone with what they need. And I guess that reflects really everything I can do, if not more. But yeah, and again, I do want both of us to win at the end, and not just one side, for sure. So.
So really have a win-win situation or a good business relationship. That's what you're trying to aim here, and to be of service to people who really needs their web presence, their online website, web development. And yeah, I think all these technical words and sounded like fancy, but I think at the end of the day, it's more of what you could be of service and being available to them, right?
Yeah.
So you have a superb customer service with cutting edge technology, aims to continue to keep our clientele ahead of the competitor curve and into the lives of their customer. Well, I think you're doing that. Superb customer service.
Thank you.
And they could check any of the website that you created on the website. You could check with their clients, and they have sample of clients that the Nico have created for the website. You could call them, confirm to them if Nico is doing a superb customer service. So the biggest I call it 75% to community network is because you choose to have an office space if anyone now choose to work at home. So how long you have the office space? I think we've mentioned it earlier, but you could repeat it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's my eighth years right now, eighth year that I'm here. And why do I have an office and not work at home is that years ago I did work from home, and the kids were crying, so I went up and helped my wife, then clean up, and I lost an hour just there. And then I felt like at night I had to catch up on work, so I worked kind of like 24 hours a day on and off.
Yeah.
And at the time it was okay, I guess. I was younger or whatever. But now I do like that I'm at the office and I work. At 5, I go home and I'm done with work. I don't touch it. Like I don't even touch my computer at home, or really. Like it just like, that's it. I'm done. I like that. Plus it does some advertising. with my storefront. So and it looks way more professional than working from my basement. When clients come and that kind of stuff. So
that's true. So and then Eastside Creation office space is actually beautiful. It's aesthetically, it's big space, and he could accommodate clients. It's a big space, and it's in a downtown. So he has a very strategic position when it comes to his storefront. So it's in downtown area, and people could see it through, and it's accessible to anyone who has also business surrounding him and passerby for the commute and all. So it's a very strategic location, and I think it's true, when you have your scheduled properly systemized, like with not balancing work and home, but having a time different, and then it's give you focus on work. Because especially with the creative and coding, when you start working on, you cannot be disturbed. You'll be disturbed in between. So sometimes you get out of your process, and then you have to start again. So, and that's very wise to separate office space from work. I mean, if they could afford it eventually, I guess that would be, but then they would have to try to find a way to create really a special space for them, which is your office space. And it really works effectively for Nico.
Oh yeah, I like it.
So a little more about Nico here. He is coming from Quebec, Canada. Nico had a vision of bringing the website development combined with graphic design to the forefront of today's technology world. Nico's vast hands-on involvement with his company lets him do what he does best, develop and design. So his love of family and his passion for life is expressed greatly through his work. So I think that's understandable. That so this is what I see about Nico. He's really passionate about his life through his work and his family, and that's why he created an office space to have separate it from work and home. And then when he comes home, he's not on his computer, he's focusing on kids and wife and family time. So Nico's a family man, and at the same time he's a professional.
I try to be.
You are. So, sorry. So website is a service that is not tangible. How do you explain, walk through customers so they can see their desired design and concept?
It would be like a new house. Like
Mhm.
if you try to sell a new house, you cannot really see it until it's built. So as you would explain how it will be and show example of other website, other houses that kind of like look like what it will kind of be. And I think that's what it is. But then at the end, it's way faster for me to change something than a house that's built and you want to change the door places.
Yeah.
For website, for a website, it's a little bit faster to change stuff, easier anyway.
So yeah, I think you're right about that. So the perception of Nico of what a website look like is like a house. Sometimes people won't see it until it's done. So that's a very good is it metaphor
I
to
guess,
explain? Yeah. So just to this is, I think, for the privilege of those who still, I don't know if there are still people who don't understand about website, but if they don't, of course, there are some. We cannot just assume that everybody knows about website, but for those who haven't had their own website. They go to the website and, buy online, but they don't have their own website. It's two different things. So it's a good explanation and metaphor that it's like building a house. You don't see it until it's finished, but at least you have these model houses that you could show, which is we have the example of website that Nico build, or maybe, you could create the behind the scene. There's a lot of information out there on, of course, different platforms, social media, and what's the process of creating a website. They could always inquire us. But of course, it's different if we could also walk through them with that. But, if you want to know more about that, just reach out to Nico and he could probably show you a little bit of a glimpse of how he creates a website, but not all, because it's like some of it is his magic recipe. So you can really disclose everything. But you could have a sneak peek preview to that at the same time.
Sure. So
that was a really good explanation, metaphor. I never thought about that. Yeah, that's true. It's really building a house, but with houses, it's hard to take them off. Like the door doesn't fit. I know. How about building the house? It's a lot of fun. So good designs really matter too, right? So do you believe that good designs matter? Are you really very keen when it comes to aesthetics, right? Aside from your being a French person?
I mean, a good design matters, but also effective design matters too.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be functional.
Functional, which is true. So does the customer know what they want right away?
It depends. I have some that comes with like all their notes and they know exactly what they want, and I build it. Other ones says, I want a website, I want this on it, and then I'm in charge of doing most of the design.
Mm-hmm. So that would vary also when it comes to the timeline and the packages. Would it shift different prices when it comes to that? If person who just hand in there and they know about the functionality that they want for their
design? It doesn't change the price, because at the end I do the same kind of work. Like
the process of just the assessment, and it's more of the time that they show it to you, or it's more of the waiting game for them. And then when they're ready, that's the way you start creating their website. It varies too.
Yes, it varies. And and depends on how fast people come back to me too for content or questions or stuff like this.
So it's so for those who doesn't really know what they want right away, so they cannot decide when they approach you, how do you help them?
I mean, I will ask them a few questions to know what they kind of like or not like, and color wise and that kind of stuff. So it gives me an idea, and then I will go and I'll have like ideas in my head that I'm like, okay, I would do this, I would do that. So I try it, I put it all together, and sometimes I'll do a couple ideas and then I show them, and we go from there.
So it's always a process, because it's something that, because there are a lot of people who are also visual, sometimes they want to see. So do you intend to show them? So I remember when there's a client who want to really know more about how it looks like, so you would give them a glimpse, like a preview of
like a mock-up or something like that.
Yeah, but that's very rare, I guess. It depends.
50-50.
Also, there are few people who really want to see it first, right?
Oh yeah, like it never goes online before it is approved for sure, but yeah, like, and some people know more
Yeah.
what
So
they want, and then
it depends on the depth of the knowledge that they want to know, or for it's also it depends on the familiarity of what a web design or website would look like. So it's more of what the person experienced, and at the same time the personality of the person. So it's mixture of both, I guess, or
yeah, it would be like,
iterations.
and the personality of the person will change
Mhm.
how the project goes too. Like the people that are like what is that? I have a blank. Really, like I've
Very
planned.
tedious, very tedious,
Yeah, like
organized.
yeah, I've plans for everything. So, and they would know what they want, and all the contents there. It's like here's everything,
Mhm.
and that's what I want. I build it, right?
Mhm. Which one is your favorite? We cannot say it here.
I do like both. That's the truth.
But it's fun, right?
Because
Because everyone is different too.
like everything, there's some days where it's like it's hard to like I create stuff. It's like I have no idea and try something like I don't like it. So having like a plan, it's like okay, do this, this, this. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. But other days uh, I do like to use my creativity and just
Mhm.
put down what I see in my head, and it's like, oh yeah, I like that. And
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, so there are times that the creativity flow is just you feel like a genius, right? Just
Yeah,
flow and it's on spot, right on. There's no editing and almost perfect. And there are days that like
it's a
it's
blank
not
page.
even
Right. Yeah.
so I think there's different days when you feel like you're very creative. There are days also when you just want to feel organized.
Mhm.
Different days, I guess. Maybe it's part of the astrological thing. I don't know if you believe that. But it has different moods, different situations. So you just have to deal what it is that you feel efficient doing on that day, right? If you feel creative, flow is overflowing, just do all whatever creative that you have. So then you don't push too hard if it's not working when your creativity flow is not doing well. So that's kind of good to know about that, about clients and different approach every client. So when it comes to content, does it has to be an eye-catching content?
You mean like the website in
Yeah.
general? I mean, it needs to like. I'm sure you heard that that website has like a few seconds
Mm-hmm.
to attract the visitor's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So if they load the page and it's like there, and they will leave.
Yeah.
So yes, it does count for it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
important, but it also needs to be, and like I said, functional. If it's nice, but you're lost into it, and like
Mm.
I want to go there, but it's like I don't see it, and I'm lost, and they
Mm.
will leave again.
Yeah.
Like it is a balance of the two.
Yeah. Functionality and aesthetics is important. So good design, eye-catching content, wordings too are important. At the same time, the functionality, if it helps them navigate through the website, that they won't get lost and they don't miss out anything that is relevant for the website.
Yeah.
So it's more of like communication. They're communicating through website.
Yes.
So building your web development. So what your company does, we all know it's a web development, graphic design, and marketing
Hosting. Yeah. But yeah.
and hosting. Okay. So why your team is amazing. Hmm.
I think because we connect with clients. It's not just like I want your business. It's done. Bye. Like, and we'll talk and work together until it's done and they're happy.
Mhm.
I think that's why. But
Well, you just have amazing, you have amazing stuff that I will not mention here. So what makes you unique, I guess, like the East Side Creations?
My French accent is one. Unique. I would say I would do lots of custom stuff.
Mhm.
A lot, a, a lot of people I see around that do website uses builder stuff, and you do it with this, and they get what they get.
Mhm.
I do custom stuff, so I can do exactly what the client wants.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's a bit more work, but at the end they get a better deal, I think.
Yeah, it's the quality. If website will be, the front yard of their business. So a really good website, good design, and a good host, I guess,
Yeah.
that is reliable and always available when downtime comes. And so, of course, I think you mentioned that what makes you unique, you have your amazing team and your company does. And so that's the reason why they should probably support you. And do you have any answer about this? Why should they support you?
Support local.
Support local.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the hierarchy in web design. We will be talking about the hierarchy in web design. Can you explain furthermore? A client asked one. This is one of the client question to us. So we have to include them, I guess. So what is a hierarchy in web design?
Um, well, I need to know what the client want to focus on, and what is important to him or her, so that the website reflects it. And the functionality is to make sure that the website is accessible and findable, like on Google, I guess, so that the client can show his products and services. The website do need like a call to action, like something, so that the client I will do an action and not just like read it. It's like, oh, it's nice, and then they leave, right? So they need something like to contact or buy or whatever the website needs to do. Each website have their own specific functionality. So yeah, it needs to like I kind of flow, right?
So that's the hierarchy for website.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I just skip? Okay.
You're all over the place now.
I know, I'm so sorry. There. My astrological design is not in hierarchy. So so successful companies are consistent. So usually, like for you, you nail down a schedule between work and family. And also when you connect with clients, frequency is important too, as well as follow up. And you answer questions immediately, right? So this is the voicemail. Your call is important to us. We will get back to you right away. So do you say that? Do you do that?
I do have
If
a
you don't know.
message, but
Yeah,
I
those.
don't, and people don't get that one too often. So
Well, it's more of the voicemail that I said is because a lot of people would said, your call is important to us. We will get back to you right away, but they never get back. But
anyway,
how you do? Okay, so that's good to know. Interacting with your clients, we call them their probably followers in social media. So engagement and relationship building is crucial to success. Do you have a lot of clienteles or people just inquiring you through Facebook still, or it's more directly connecting, they would call you or go?
yeah, through Facebook, I had a few, but not a lot.
Mhm.
But I'm guilty of not updating my my Facebook too often either. So I'm sure it doesn't help there.
Well, I think it's because it's not the way you are.
Yeah.
The way I think it still works. You don't have, I'm not saying that the social media is not important. It doesn't play. Um, I still have this, I'm more of an old school, even though we are here at the web development, the way I do business is still old school. I still, I see clients or person one-on-one, connecting with them is important. That's why it's quite hard during this previous time. But then there are a lot of ways, not just social media, because everybody's talking about social media and all. But for me, basically, everything, it's still connecting with people, and it has to be your phone or connecting in touch. Sometimes with, because it's not, because if you're really into Facebook, you will be there, right? But that's not, you just have to do it because it's what helps connect to at the same time with people. But you're there creating coding, you have lots of works right now, I guess, because I think you're more established than you're still starting out, so it's different. Yeah. So but that's okay. I don't think so. Just because we are in the web development doesn't mean we have to be in social media all the time. So those two are different thing. Web development is that, we design website, you design good designs, and you're creating functionality and hierarchy for your clients. But you're interacting to them, you're answering their questions. A lot of them will create more content on social media, but they don't connect with their clients. So those two are different things. That's the aesthetics too, right? Aesthetics being in the present online, but they're not present with their clients. So those two are different things too. But I really want to be more connected with clients than being present online and not being present with the client. So that's the functionality that you said, that when a client approach you, and this is just a term for web development, but at least if they have an idea what is functionality, then when they come to you, they already have what design that they would love. And then, if the color of their logo and their brand and all that, is the feeling of minimalism, maximalism, colorful, or just, and you work with them also with the design and stuff like that. When it comes to functionality, so this also depends on what kind of business they are and what is their immediate need for their business at the same time.
Yeah, because it's not like everyone that needs a shopping basket, right?
Yes.
And some people, I just want a few pages that show who they are and the services. So it's not the same. Like every website have their own specific functionality for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like some will have like a form for something specific, like a registration maybe, or it depends on the client.
Yeah, so it depends. So there are just clients who just want to have an online presence through their website site to be found on search engines. So
Yeah.
just information about their product, but they're really more of connecting with people, for example, like farms, as you've mentioned, or a services that is industrial. Most of their work is really going to them, and or contractors and stuff, construction. So you don't do a lot so much on the website, but just to inform the audience or the clients what they do, how to find them, and how to connect to them, right?
Yeah.
And then there are other also like online, that's the e-commerce to the extent.
Yes.
So shopping cart, all that, that's very like their storefront is their website, their online presence. So those two are, I think, the extreme difference of just an information and just the really using the online website or web development as their storefront, as their e-commerce.
Yeah.
There's still. So I think we've mentioned a little bit more of this. Do you interact with them, taking their orders, their assistance, delivering your promises, and keeping customers delighted. So one of the thing that clients usually ask is about the price, the packages, for especially for those who don't have any idea about what a website would cost. So how do you, why do you think a lot of people still don't understand about web development and their, the face value or the value of the website for their company or for their business?
And some people don't know anything. They're just like, I want a website. I know I need one. Okay. And some people do there's a lot of websites online to create your own, right? And people, and they're pretty cheap, and some are free. And people, I will try them, and then often I get those people. It's like, yeah, I tried, I cannot do it. So then I get them. But I mean, it's like, okay, if I would build a house, I could get IKEA kitchen, right? That's pretty cheap. I can just like, I put it up and that's it. Or I can have a custom made kitchen from where Mennonites around here, or any kitchen store that are like a custom made, and they come into your house and they look, it's like, okay, and it's more work for sure. So and that's like, people don't see that sometimes, and that's why I came up with my new package that is more like a IKEA kitchen. So like it's still a great website, but a bit faster to build for me. So I can put my prices lower for that one. But if they do want custom stuff, then it is more work. So I do charge more for those for sure.
So those are the price point. IKEA.
I know, it's just an example.
No, but that's true. Like those are ready to, custom design versus the one that it's ready. They just to set DIY.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. I think we've discussed that. So timeless or trend. So web development is timeless or trend.
Timeless.
So is it website? This is just a trend, or this is?
Is it a trend? No. I mean, it is not for everyone. Right? It's not everyone that needs a website, but as a business, I would say it is a need. I had at least 2 clients that came to me and said, people, I would not buy from them because I didn't have a website. It just built some trust and credibility, I guess. And of course, it shows some professionalism if it's well done. I would compare a website as your virtual store, the same as a physical store. When people come in, it's that first look and what's there.
So for you, it's timeless, right?
Yeah, but it's not really a trend
Mhm.
because, and like I said, it's not for everyone. Like I like my wife, she doesn't need a website.
Yeah. So it depends.
But
It depends where you are.
yeah, like as a business or like a writer, I would want a website to promote their book.
Mhm. So it depends on what industry they are and what they need to.
I would think so, because I mean, a trend, I would be more like a Facebook account where everyone is on there. Yeah.
So social media could be a trend, but web development could be timeless.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. Because it depends. When I said trend, because, well, how many years is Facebook, social media, and all that? And now it's ever changing, but the internet has started way, way back before that. So it's under information technology. So
yeah, and
probably said it's timeless for now.
And social media to do like uploads and fade out, and like my daughter, I would not go on Facebook anymore. It's like I don't go there, and they have new ones that are out now.
Yeah. So social media is so far becomes a trend right now. It changes. It depends on what people need. So it's like fashion.
Yeah.
Social media is like fashion. It's a trend. And also there's some timeless piece that you would love to keep, like, a trench coat. So those are timeless. Or, So of course you have your creative minds that also help stand out your team. And yeah, so they could connect with Nico at this number 519-375-7199. And this is his email address. We'll leave it there for a while so people could see it and connect with him. And through his website, eastsidecreations.ca. So Nico would love to talk about all things, not really marketing, but web development at the same time, how you market yourself too. So is there anything would you like to share or end with?
No, I'm good. I don't know.
Well, thank you for taking your time to discuss about making it big online. And for you to be able to make big online, you have to be effective and always available, I guess. I think that's what we learned. We'll probably summarize. And you have to be timeless in everything. Thank you for your time, Nico, and have a wonderful day today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, bye.